Hi guys, this is Carla Avellana. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's episode, we will be cooking another special dish. Tamang-tama, malapit na mag-Christmas. Christmas is just a few days away. So we will be preparing a special dish that's also okay for everyday cooking. So, if you can see, I have fresh clams because today we are cooking spaghetti alle vongole. Alright, so just to give you an overview of the ingredients that we will be needing for this recipe, of course, we have our fresh clams. We will be needing about 1 kilo of fresh clams. When it comes to your fresh clams, just make sure that you rinse them well. And if you can, just brush the shells to remove any dirt or sand, and most importantly, leave them in a pot of water or soak them for a while para ma-extract lahat ng sand na nasa loob ng clam. So that's very important. And another tip, if you see clams that aren't open, just like this one is open, of course, this is good. That means it's fresh. So if the clams do not open, meaning close lang sila, it's better if you put that aside or throw it away because hindi na fresh yun. So we wouldn't want to get sick or anything from not fresh clams. Okay, we will be needing about 5 to 6 cloves of garlic, which we will thinly slice later on. I love garlic, so I love to add a little bit more. We also need about 10 pieces of cherry tomatoes. These are fresh. We will be cutting those into quarters later on. We will need salt and pepper. Ayan na naman ako sa paper. Salt and pepper to taste and season. And then we will be needing about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of chili flakes. We will also need about a bunch of parsley, preferably flat leaf parsley. But since wala akong nahanap na available, okay lang naman kung hindi flat leaf parsley as long as it's fresh. So we need about a bunch of flat leaf parsley or just regular parsley, and then we will cut that and make siguro about half a cup. Of course, we will be needing white wine for this recipe. We will need about a cup of white wine. We'll need a pack of spaghetti noodles. That's about 400 to 500 grams. And we will need extra virgin olive oil, about half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. So why extra virgin olive oil? Well, since this is a pasta dish, it's really best to use extra virgin olive oil. It's the most aromatic, most flavorful type of olive oil. In fact, it's the purest because it's straight from cold pressing. So we want, the flavor of extra virgin olive oil to really infuse in our recipe. That's why, of course, we will be needing the #1 brand of olive oil in the Philippines, ang Doña Elena. This is imported from Spain. And of course, it's the best quality already. So it's perfect for our dish because it's completely fine to use extra virgin olive oil in your everyday cooking, and it should be part of your pantry as well. So do not be intimidated by this recipe. Do not be scared. As you can see, we have basic ingredients. We just need a handful of ingredients. And of course, trust your extra virgin olive oil because that will work best in this recipe. So let's proceed with preparing our ingredients. I will just wash my hands and wear my apron. Okay, so now that I have washed my hands and I have put on my apron, we are ready to prepare our ingredients. So of course, we've already washed our 1 kilo of clams. Na-scrub na rin natin para wala talagang dumi, dirt, or sand. And then of course, we've soaked our clams in water so that they will extract any remaining sand that they have inside. So of course, we already have our chili flakes. Again, we will be needing about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half, salt and pepper to season and taste. And here we go with our 10 pieces of cherry tomatoes. These have to be fresh. Fresh is always best. So with cherry tomatoes, of course, after washing, just make sure that you slice them into quarters. So these are extra sweet because cherry tomatoes are sweeter than your regular tomatoes. Okay. Make sure you have a sharp knife. Just be careful while slicing. Good. You can also use, speaking of tomatoes, you can also use diced tomatoes. There's no rule. Of course, you are free to use diced tomatoes. In fact, Doña Elena also has diced tomatoes that come in cans. So, you know, if you prefer to use that, that's also fine. As long as tomatoes pa rin naman sila. So, again, quarters for our cherry tomatoes. Ooh. So, that's the secret. Always use fresh ingredients. So, we're done with our cherry tomatoes. Let's proceed with our 5 to 6 cloves of garlic. So, now this is up to you, whatever your preference is when it comes to slicing your garlic. But it would be more aesthetically pleasing. Not aesthetically pleasing, but it would be nicer to have it like thinly sliced. Just be careful when slicing your garlic. You have to protect your fingers. I'm not an expert. I'm not good at slicing or chopping, so just be extra careful. Especially because you're working with a very sharp knife. So if you can slice them thinly like this, even better. But then again, if it's your preference, you can chop it, you can mince it, you can dice or even quarters. Walang problema. Of course, you can do that too. But because this is a pasta recipe, I figured it would be nicer physically, yung appearance ba, kapag nakita mo yung thin slivers of garlic. By the way, the recipe of this is in the description section below. So if you want to try this recipe out, why don't you? Please, you may even tag me or on social media. Show me the results of your own spaghetti alle vongole. Why not? So let me know kung kamusta yung inyong version. And then, some people even add capers or olives to their spaghetti vongole, which is also good. Sakto, si Doña Elena meron ding olives and capers. So, you know, you can add that to this recipe. Why not? Let's proceed with our parsley. We need about a bunch, which will make up half a cup. So, preferably flat leaf parsley, and again, fresh. But we'll make do with, you know, just regular parsley. This will also add color to our dish because of its green, vibrant color. So just roughly chop into smaller pieces. Of course, we don't need the stems. So just, you know, throw away the stems. Or if you want to be sustainable, you can also cook that, make it into tea or something. I don't know. But yes, we will be needing just the leaves. And then let's measure about a cup or 250 ml of white wine. This will make the recipe a bit more special. So about a cup or 250 ml of white wine. Any white wine is fine. But today we are using Chardonnay. So about 1 cup, 250 ml of our white wine. Then, let's open our pack of spaghetti. Sakto, because Doña Elena also has spaghetti noodles. In fact, they also have other artisan noodles or pasta. But today, we will be using spaghetti noodles kasi staple na yan sa ating mga pantry. Kaya sa karamihan sa atin, may spaghetti noodles na talaga sa ating pantry. So, just a tip for your spaghetti noodles. Please do not chop or, you know, break it into smaller pieces. It's okay kung ganito siyang buo. That's fine. We already have our pot of boiling water over here. And then just drop it in your boiling pot of water. Just make sure that you add a generous amount of salt to your boiling water. Generous amount. Take note of the word generous because we want a bit more flavor to our pasta noodles. And then you can also drizzle some of your olive oil into that so that, of course, your spaghetti noodles will not stick. You know, you can just follow the instructions on the pack of your noodles or spaghetti. Kung ano yung instructions dyan on how long to cook your noodles, then that's fine. And then just a tip, make sure that it's close to al dente because we want to cook our spaghetti noodles sa ating pasta itself. So we want to finish the cooking dun na mismo sa pasta, dun sa sauce. So make sure it's about close to al dente. Okay, so let's not forget, we will be using half a cup of our Doña Elena extra virgin olive oil. Just make sure to reserve some for drizzling later on. There we go, that's about half a cup. So we have that there, and then we will be using a little bit more for the drizzling part later, but for now we will be using half a cup first for our cooking mismo. So let's just light our fire, get our pan heating. So the key to cooking with extra virgin olive oil is that you only use low to medium heat because we don't want to get rid of the aroma, the flavor of extra virgin olive oil. So when using this particular variant or type of olive oil, make sure that your fire is just low to medium. Okay, so we want to heat up our pan just a little bit. Make sure it's hot. And then we can proceed with pouring our half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. And with your spaghetti noodles, you can spread the noodles apart from time to time just to make sure that they won't stick to each other. No need to cover, no need to wait a long time. This will cook quick. So just a few minutes actually. Less than 10 minutes, okay na yan. So from time to time, just so they won't stick to each other or stick to the bottom of the pot, just make sure to spread your spaghetti noodles. And then, our olive oil is now ready. We can proceed with cooking our garlic. So I used 5 to 6 cloves of garlic, which I thinly sliced into slivers because that's how I prefer it. So we don't want our extra virgin olive oil to be too hot because we don't want our garlic to be toasted or overcooked or too tough, because if you overcook garlic, it will become bitter. So ayaw natin yun. In fact, it has to be on very low heat so that the garlic will be infused in the extra virgin olive oil. So we don't even want it to simmer or boil or anything, no. We don't want to toast our garlic. So sakto lang yung low heat so that it won't turn bitter. So let's now proceed with our chili flakes. Again, a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of chili flakes. So let's just pour that in. Pwede namang ding no chili flakes for those who don't want kick to the recipe or yung spice. You know, if kids are eating, then it's okay if you do away with your chili flakes. So let the chili flakes infuse in your extra virgin olive oil as well. If you like it a bit more spicy, then of course you can add some more. So we can now cook or add our 10 pieces of cherry tomatoes, which I have sliced into quarters. Okay, so adding in our 1 cup or 250 ml of white wine. You can leave this for about a minute or two so the flavors of your garlic, your chili flakes, and your cherry tomatoes will really come out. Pour in our 1 cup or 250 ml of white wine, and then just let that simmer for a bit before we finally cook our clams. For now, we can check on our spaghetti noodles again. Just move them around, make sure that they're not sticking to each other or to the bottom of your pot. Unlike most pasta recipes, we won't be needing to drain our spaghetti noodles because we will be needing some of the pasta water for our dish. It will make the sauce, I guess more liquid. It will add to the sauce. It will make the sauce richer. So no need to drain your spaghetti noodles. You can just remove the spaghetti noodles directly from your pot and then add them to your pan. Okay, so let's just wait for this to sizzle or simmer a bit more before we add in our clams. Okay. So now that that's simmering, we can now pour in our 1 kilo fresh clams. There you go. You can just mix that a little bit. And then we will be covering this so that the clams will be steamed until they are fully cooked. So while this cooks, we can remove our pasta already. We can turn the fire off kasi close to al dente na yan sila. So just one final stir or mix and we should be good to go. There you go. So hintayin lang natin to. Mabilis lang yan actually. It's just gonna be a few minutes. And then we will be adding our spaghetti directly into our pan. We will be seasoning with salt and pepper to taste. Ayan na naman ako. Check ko kung paper na naman yung sasabihin ko. Salt and pepper to taste. And then last, of course, is to garnish our dish with our fresh parsley. So, our spaghetti noodles are basically just cooked and waiting. So, we will let this simmer. And the secret or the key to checking if your clams are cooked is when they have fully opened. So, pag naka-open na yung clams, that's when you know that they are cooked already. Okay. So, hintayin lang natin ito ng konti, guys. And then, we will toss in our spaghetti noodles. Again, no need to drain your spaghetti noodles. You can just directly grab your spaghetti noodles and toss them into the pan, because we will be needing the pasta water for our sauce. Okay, there you go. The clams are starting to open. Maybe just a minute or two more. It smells so good. Don't worry about your spaghetti noodles. They will not overcook as long as your fire is already off. Okay, there you go. Our clams have now fully opened. That's when you know it's cooked. You can actually just toss them around. Let them absorb the extra virgin olive oil, the garlic, the white wine. And now we can toss in our spaghetti noodles. So again, as close to al dente as possible. You don't want your spaghetti noodles to be overcooked. So just grab a bunch and then carefully toss your spaghetti noodles into the pan. No need to drain. Carefully. By the way, for this dish, you can also use fettuccine or angel hair, which I'm not sure if I've already mentioned earlier. So there's also no rule when it comes to using your pasta or your noodles for this dish. There you go. So we are done with that. Okay, of course the fire of this is still going. Let's just change. And then let the spaghetti noodles finish cooking into our pasta sauce. If yours is a bit too dry, you can add more of your pasta water. About half a cup of your pasta water, that's fine. It has a lot of flavors, and remember, we added lots of salt to it and even olive oil. So, don't throw away your pasta water. Always keep some aside to add to your dish. There you go. Ooh, this smells so good. Oh my goodness. Go. And then last but not least is our salt and pepper. Actually, not last but not least. No. Salt and pepper, of course, to just season, add a bit more flavor. Oh, okay, not too much. And then salt. Right. And then proceed with just tossing this around. And finally, garnish with your fresh parsley. Oops! May tumalo na clam. Buhay pa. And don't be scared of cooking clams because they are inexpensive. As long as they are fresh, then you know you are good. Last but not the least, ito na talaga yung last but not the least, our fresh parsley. Just garnish that on top. And we are actually done. We are ready with our spaghetti alle vongole. So, just make sure that's already good and have a serving dish. We will proceed with our plating. Ooh, okay. Go. This is heavy, and as you can see, this will serve your entire family already. So, this is our spaghetti alle vongole. Just be careful when plating. Just let the pasta slide in. Careful. So, you can use your tongs to help with the spaghetti and the clams. Whew, I'm getting a facial from this. All the steam. Okay. There you go. So here we have our spaghetti alle vongole. That's not done yet. We will use some of our Doña Elena extra virgin olive oil to drizzle on top. Because Doña Elena's extra virgin olive oil is perfect for drizzling, for dips, and even salads. Again, if you're using or looking for their extra virgin olive oil, it's the maroon color. So that's the difference. And of course, go for the #1 brand of olive oil in the Philippines, ang Doña Elena, which is imported from Spain. Okay, there you go. There we have it. This is our spaghetti alle vongole, made by yours truly. This will serve your entire family already. Some people add cheese. That's not a problem. You can add fresh grated parmesan cheese on top. But for me, this is already fine. So, why don't you make your own version? Magluto din kayo ng inyong spaghetti alle vongole and then show me. You can tag me. You can tell me how it goes. Please don't be intimidated by this recipe. It's actually very easy. The ingredients are inexpensive and we only used a handful of ingredients. So, that's it. Titikman na natin yan, guys. Pero, before that, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Carla Abellana. Follow me on Instagram, Carla Angeline. Please hit the notification button, like this video, and then comment below kung ano pang mga recipes ang gusto ninyong mapanood. Again, try your own version, show me, tikman ninyo, sana magustuhan ninyo, and I hope that you learned a lot from this vlog. And that's it. Enjoy! Thanks again for watching today's episode. Hugs and kisses! There we have it, our spaghetti alle vongole made by yours truly. Time to taste this dish. I see the chili flakes. All the clams are open and fresh. Cherry tomatoes give more color. Okay. I love how the spaghetti is not overcooked. Al dente lang siya, so perfect. I will just grab myself a piece of clam. Like as well. It's very fresh, very good. And then of course, drizzled with extra virgin olive oil, so extra special. There you go. Spaghetti alle vongole.